live stream section. Welcome. It's a pleasure having you in my live stream section. I believe you are going to be really learning a lot as a result of this live stream section. So basically, everything we are going to be discussing today will be about cell organization of life. And we are not just going to discuss this as a topic. Yes, we are not discussing the cell organization of life as a topic. Rather, we are going to be discussing, or we are going to be solving past questions that are based on this particular cell organization of life. And this is how I'm going to be running my past question series. Although I might not be live every time, but most of my past questions will be topic based, and I will also shoot questions based on years. Right, when I lay my hands on past questions that have the various years that I'm going to shoot my videos on. But right now we are going to be solving at least 40 questions that is based on cell organization of life. Like I said, we are not just going to solve to get the correct answer. Rather, we will get the correct answer, and we will also know why the other options are wrong and how you can easily get the answer if you are in the exam hall. And if you're just coming across my channel for the very first time, my name is Basi Ejeogba, and in my channel Ejeogbakonnect, I help students level up academic game. So if you love content like this, if you want to level up your academic game, please don't forget to hit on the red subscribe button and also share this video to your friend so they can come here and get value. And in turn, I'll feel motivated to continue dropping videos like this. I'll feel motivated to continue doing stuff like this. So right away, with me here, I have our three past questions on my hand. So we are going to be hitting these biology questions one by one, right? So without wasting much time, we are going to be entering the very first question on the list. So the very first question here is cell, or since we are dealing with cell organization of life, and we already know because I've done this particular aspect. I think I made a video based on this particular aspect about what cell, and we already know the meaning of what cell. So the question there is, which of the following is a characteristics of the animal cell? Which of the following is a characteristics of the word animal word cell? A. Presence of chloroplast. A. Presence of chloroplast. Does the presence of what? Chloroplast. I'm coming. We have A. Presence of chloroplast. B. We have possession of a cellulose wall. Possession of a cellulose cell wall. Of a cellulose cell wall. Possession of a cellulose cell wall. Option C is absence of large vacuoles. Absence of large vacuoles. Absence of what? Large vacuoles. And D, presence of large vacuoles. Presence of large vacuoles. Presence of large vacuoles. E says presence of chromosomes. So E says presence of chromosomes. This is a JAMB question, presence of what? Chromosomes. So if you're just joining us, please stick to so that you can get to know the question. Now the question is, which of the following, that is the question on the board. The question is, which of the following is a characteristics of the word animal cell? When you see a cell, how will you be able to know that this is what an animal cell and this is what a plant cell? Right? So how can we differentiate between plant and animal cell? The first option here says presence of chloroplast. When we see chloroplast, does it make it a plant or does it make it an animal cell? If you say A, so drop it in the comment section. What is the correct option here? Presence of chloroplast. B, possession of a cellulose cell wall. Cellulose cell wall. C, absence of large vacuoles. Does absence of a large vacuole defines an animal cell? D, presence of large vacuoles. And E, presence of what? Chromosomes. So drop your answer in the comment section. Let me see. Is there any answer? Just drop your answer in the comment section. Let's follow up this class. Which of the following is the characteristic animal cells, as can see here on the board? Right? So what is the answer? What is the answer? Right? I'm still waiting for answers though. I'm still waiting for answers. Now let's do something. Cell organization of life. We have the plant cell and we have the animal cell. Now, which of the following is the characteristics of what? Animal cell. A. Presence of chloroplast. Note, animal cells do not contain chloroplast. Animal cells do not what? Contain what? Chloroplast. Now, chloroplast is a key feature of what? The plant what? Cell. Chloroplast is a key feature of the plant cell because it houses the pigment. The chloroplast houses the pigment that is known as what? Chlorophyll. The chloroplast houses the pigment that's known as chlorophyll. Please, if you are just joining the class, please make sure you hit on the red subscribe button. Please subscribe so that I can continue getting updates like this. Even though you don't need these things, you can share it to your brothers. You can share it to your neighbor so that they can just get to see what I'm doing, and I'll feel motivated to continue dropping videos like this. So presence of a chloroplast is what? Wrong. So this one is what? Wrong. I said chloroplast houses the pigment which is known as what? Chlorophyll. Now, what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is what? A green pigment that is found in what? Plants. So chlorophyll is what? A green pigment that is found in what? Plants. Now, the green pigment that is found in plants is responsible for the process that is known as what? So the green pigment in plants is being what? Is known as what? The chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll is housed by the what? Chloroplast. So animals do not what? Undergo what? Photosynthesis. Animals do not undergo what? Photosynthesis. We don't produce our own food. We depend directly or indirectly on what? Plants. So presence of chloroplast is what? Wrong. B. Possession of what? A cellulose what? Cell wall. Animal cells do not have what? A cell wall. We don't have what? A cell wall. A rigid what? Cell wall. So the presence of this cellulose makes it what? It means it's what? A rigid cell wall. Meanwhile, the animal cell wall or the animal cell does not have what? A rigid cell wall. So the possession of a cellulose cell wall is also what? Wrong. Now, C. Absence of what? A large vacuum. Absence of what? A large vacuum. The animal cells lack the presence of what? A large vacuums. The vacuums of what? Animal cells is what? Small. The vacuums of animal cells is what? Small. D. Presence of a large vacuums. No. And presence of what? Chromosomes. I know even a total beginner would think that presence of chromosomes at least is for humans. Now, humans, we have what? Chromosomes, right? No. Chromosomes is present for both what? Plant and what? Animal. You understand? The chromosomes is present in both what? Plant and animal what? Cells. So the correct answer here is what? C. Animal cells do not have what? A large what? Vacuum. So the absence of a large vacuum is the correct what? Option. Please, if you are just following the class, make sure you comment. Let me know. Just comment. Just drop a comment. Please just drop a comment and also help me subscribe. Right. So the next one here we have is all living organisms. All the questions we are going to be doing is focusing on this. So I have all the questions as far as it comes to JAMB. And as far as it comes to JAMB, which can also apply in WAEC and NECO and GCE. But as far as it comes to JAMB, I have all the topics over the years, question by questions. You understand? So topic by topic, we have all the questions. So we have, let me clean the board because we have the next question right away. We have the next question here. It says, all living organisms. A. All living organisms. A. Photosynthesize. Let me write it. All living organisms. All living organisms with a question mark. A. Photosynthesize. Do we all photosynthesize? This is a JAMB question. B. Respire. Do we all respire as living organisms? C. Move. D says feed. And E. Transpire. That's the question here. It says all living organisms. Drop it in the comment section. What do you think is the answer? All living organisms: A. Photosynthesize. B. Respire. B. Respire. C. Move. D. Feed. And E. To what? Transpire. So what is the option? All living organism does what? I also want to drop the answer on the comment section. Drop the answer in the comment section. This question: all living organisms. All living organisms: A. Photosynthesize. Do all living organisms photosynthesize? B. Do all living organisms respire? C. Do all living organisms move? D. Do all living organisms feed? And E. Do all living organisms what? Transpire. The answer is just there on the board. So, without wasting much time, yes, the correct answer there is D. The correct answer there is what? D. All living organisms feed. Right? All living organisms feed, and we need food for what? Energy, and to be what? Body what? Structures. So we need food for what? Energy, and our body what? Structures. Let's move ahead to the next question. Yes. Of a plant cell is, we are talking about vacuum now. The vacuum of a plant cell is, the vacuum of a plant cell is, so let me write it. The vacuum of a plant cell, the vacuum of a plant cell is A. A large empty space. Is A. What is wrong with this new marker? A large empty space. A large empty space. The vacuum of a plant cell, is it a large empty space? B. It says smaller than that of animal. Than that of what? Animal cell. Smaller than that of what? Animal cell. C says what? C says it's filled with air. C says what? Filled with air. C says filled with air. D says an ordinary vacuum. An ordinary what? An ordinary vacuum. An ordinary what? Vacuum. Yes, I'm correct. Yes, I'm correct. An ordinary vacuum. And D says, E says what? Surrounded by a membrane. So E says what? Surrounded by a membrane, right? Surrounded by what? A membrane. What is the answer? Drop the answer, please. Let's get it. The vacuum of a plant cell is A large empty space. You think this is JAMB question though? The vacuum of a plant cell is A large empty space. I'm waiting for the answer. That's why I'm behind the screen right now, and I'm trying to see whether any answer is dropping. It says a large empty space. All right, let's continue. What is the correct answer now? All right, let me drop the answer. The vacuum of a plant cell, the vacuum of a plant what cell, is not a large empty space. What is the first question you have to ask yourself when you get to see questions like this? If you are writing any exam, be it for JAMB, be it for WAEC, when you see a question like this, what they are asking you first is vacuum. Now, what you have to ask yourself, what is what vacuum? What is a vacuum? You know that a vacuum is a large space, right? That one is, you see how the question, you see how they confuse you with this question. Look at the board. I hope people are watching me. Now, look at the board. Look at the vacuum is what? A large space. But they now throw in something that will confuse you. They say a large empty space. You see the confusion? They know that it's a large space, but they now brought in a large empty space so that you get confused. A vacuum is what? A large space, but it is not what? A large empty what? Space. You understand? So this option is what? Wrong. B. Plant cell, the vacuum in plant cell is 2 times or 3 times bigger than the vacuums in what? Animal what? Cell. So this option that says smaller than that of animal cell is what? Wrong. The vacuum of what? Plant cell is bigger than that of what? Animal what? Cell. So this option is also what? Wrong. C. Filled with air, the vacuum of what? Plant is the vacuum of what? Plant is not what? Filled with what? Air. It is not what? Filled with what? Air. Now they are trying to get you to the answer. They are trying to structure you so that your brain will start, you understand, you start getting the answer gradually. It's not filled with what? Air. When you say air, when it's filled with what? Air, it means it's empty. You understand? What you're trying to say is that it's what? Empty. So the vacuum is not what? Filled with air, neither it is just an ordinary vacuum. Now vacuum means what? Space. Vacuum means what? Space. An empty what? Space. Now the vacuum is not just what? A space. Now you have to know that the vacuum of what? Plants is surrounded by what? Membrane. The vacuums of plant is surrounded by what? Membrane. Like an answer that I wrote down, I said the membrane bound vacuums. Membrane bound what? Vacuums. So the vacuum is surrounded by what? A membrane. And now what is the function of this what? Membrane? The membrane holds the word food, contains the word the cell sap. You understand? The membrane is in charge of the word food. It should I say it houses the food. It contains the word the cell word sap, right? And the name of this membrane is called the tonoplast. The name of this membrane is called what? Tonoplast. Please write it down. The name of this membrane is called what? Tonoplast. This is the membrane surrounding the plant cell vacuum. Please take note of that. So that we are going to move right ahead to question number 4. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share my channel to your friends. So please take note of this. The membrane surrounding the vacuum is known as what? The tonoplast. It holds the cell sap. It holds the cell what? Sap. When I say sap, you know liquid. All right. Let's move ahead. Let's move ahead to the next question. This one is going to be very simple. I'm beginning to feel like I need to start getting answers from my viewers. I need to start getting answers from my viewers. The next question here says, the part of the cell, we are talking about cell organelles, says the part of the cell solely responsible for respiration is the, which part of the cell is responsible for what? Respiration. See, the part of the cell, solely responsible for respiration. Solely responsible for what? Respiration is, which part of the cell is what? Responsible, or cell organelle is responsible for what? Cell or respiration. We have A, the nucleus. The nucleus. You can't, why did they even put the nucleus? Wow! You know, someone just gifted me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate, my God. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate. Thank you. I feel so happy. So this is the part of the cell responsible for what? Respiration is. It can never be the nucleus. The nucleus is not responsible for any respiration. What is the function of the nucleus? Well, I'm going to make a video on this where I'm going to be telling you all, trying to teach you about the various cell organelles, their functions, the nucleus, the Golgi apparatus, the endoplasmic reticulum, that is the rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the centrioles. so you can get to know this. The nucleus is not responsible for respiration. So when you know these things, you start getting to know the answers. The nucleus houses the genetic integrity. No, let me write down the option first. It says A. Sorry, my marker is bad. Let me change. My marker is bad. We have A, the nucleus. Excuse, sorry. We have A, nucleus. We have A, nucleus. We have B, nucleus. B, the nucleus. We have C, mitochondria. We have C, mitochondria. We have D, Golgi apparatus. The Golgi what? Apparatus. We have the Golgi apparatus. Excuse me. And we have E. That is ER. E is what? ER. That is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic what? Reticulum. Right? Reticulum. Thank you so much for this gift. I really appreciate this gift. My God. I never expected this. Jesus. The question is the part of the cell responsible for what? Respiration. The first question you have to know is what is what? Respiration. That's the first question that is supposed to come to your mind as someone that is preparing to write such an exam as what? JAMB. Right? So now we are going to be, like I told you people from the beginning of this class, I told people from the very beginning of this class that what we are going to be doing is, I will not just tell you the correct answer. I'm not just telling you the correct answer. I will tell you why this one is wrong, tell you why this one is wrong, tell you why all the options are wrong, and why the other one is what? Correct. So as I am trying to give you the correct answer, I'm also letting you know what this one stands for and what this one stands for. And like I said, I already have my answers. I took my time to prepare out this source out for these questions, and I prepared the answers. All right. So these answers that I will be creating, I think I will be creating a WhatsApp channel so that when people watch my videos like this, you can get to join my WhatsApp channel. Then you can start getting materials. Understand? Because I have a lot of materials which I have prepared already. I have sourced for them. Some of them I'm not the one that prepared it. I've sourced for them online, and I want to start giving out to students so that you start your preparation ahead of time. JAMB is still next year, but next year is not far. This is November, December, festival period. You won't have that chance to read. January, February, the pressure is there. You understand? So we have the part of the cell responsible for respiration is A, nucleus, B, nucleus, C, mitochondria, D, Golgi apparatus, and E, endoplasmic reticulum. All right, let's go straight to the answer. The answer, all these options are a little bit funny because the answer is just saying this guy, mitochondria. The mitochondria is known as what? The powerhouse of the what? Cell. Now, when you ask yourself, when you ask yourself, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. What do you mean as powerhouse? That is the first question. I'm coming. What do you mean as what? Powerhouse. When you say power, it means what? Energy. Mitochondria tends to what? Give or is the part of the cell that is responsible for what? Respiration. Now, respiration is what? Energy. Breaks down what? Foods. Then we get to talk about what? Metabolism, which is what? Catabolism and what? Anabolism. Anabolism simply means what? They build up, and catabolism simply means what? They break down. But the combined words for the both of them is what? Metabolism. So what is the function of mitochondria? Mitochondria is to what? Is to break down this food, respiration, in order for we to get what? Nutrients from those foods, which in turn translate to what? Energy. Because if I haven't eaten for today or right now, or I haven't eaten for the past 3 days or 50 days or 1 year, I won't be standing here because I won't be having that what? Energy. So the mitochondria is known as the what? Powerhouse of the cell, which is also known as the what? The energy cell supplier, or the body energy what? Supplier. That is the function of the what? Mitochondria. So let's talk about the nucleus. It says the function of these what? Organelles. So take note. Let's talk about these various organelles. The nucleus. The nucleus is central to the cell. It contains all cellular activities. It contains what? All cellular what? Activities, or it controls all cellular activities. It contains genetic or hereditary what? Information. That is why I told you people from the beginning of this classes what? It is called the what? It maintains the what? Genetic what? Integrity. Genetic integrity of the what? Cell. It maintains the genetic integrity of the what? Cell. Right? It maintains the genetic integrity of the cell. Note that the nucleus is not just the living component of the cell. Please note it that the nucleus is not just the living component of the what? Cell. The living component of the cell is now what? Protoplasm. I know why I'm saying this question because I know why I'm saying this because a lot of students get confused. I need to bring my thought. A lot of students get confused when it comes to this particular aspect. The nucleus is not the living part of the what? Cell. The living part of the cell is not what? The protoplasm. And it is made up. The protoplasm does not just exist. The protoplasm equals to the what? The cytoplasm plus the what? The nucleus. The cytoplasm plus the what? Nucleus, which makes up the living component of the what? Cell. Right? Which makes up the living component of the what? Cell. So what is the what? Nucleus now? The nucleus controls all cellular activities. So there is a nucleus that tends to control how this one is supposed to go, what this one is supposed to do, how it's supposed to come, and what they're supposed to be doing at a particular point in what time. So it contains also the hereditary what? Information. The information that is passed from your father to you is controlled or is contained in the what? The nucleus. You understand? Then the next one, which is what? The nucleus. When you say nucleus, this is nucleus, this is nucleus. Nucleus simply means what? A small word, nucleus. So nucleus simply means a small word, nucleus. And it is found inside the word cell. It is a small nucleus. I can clean all of this. I'll just write it. Small nucleus found inside the cell. Found inside the cell. Found inside the what? The cell. Right? It is a small nucleus found inside the what? Cell. And it synthesizes what? Ribosomes. Synthesizes what? Ribosomes. That is a function of the what? The nucleus. Right? So we have gotten the nucleus, we have gotten the nucleus. The correct answer here is C. Alright. Alright. Sorry for I had a call, so my stuff went off. My stuff went off. I'm back. Alright, so we have talked about the mitochondria, right? We have talked about the mitochondria already, which is known as the powerhouse of the cell. We have talked about the mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. Powerhouse of the cell. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. The Golgi apparatus is simply there for what? That is the rough Golgi apparatus. I'm coming. Let me take water, please. I'm coming sometime. All right. So we have the Golgi apparatus. So the Golgi apparatus here is simply there for what? The packaging. So we have the Golgi apparatus. Where is it? There was something I saw here. Okay, yes. The Golgi apparatus is simply for what? Processing and packaging and transportation of granulocyte. But most of the time, we don't put the word transportation. So we just use it for what? Processing and packaging of the word granulocyte. So this one here is responsible for what? Processing and what? Packaging. Processing and what? Packaging. Then we have the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is two. We have the what smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and we have the what the rough endoplasmic what reticulum. We have the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and we have the what the rough endoplasmic reticulum. For the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, okay, let's yes. For the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is a site of lipids and steroid synthesis. So the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is a site for what lipids and steroid what synthesis, and the rough endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for what intracellular or transportation. That's why I told you that most of the time we don't talk about the Golgi apparatus responsible for what transportation, right? We mainly talk about the what endoplasmic reticulum. I don't talk about the endoplasmic. What we are talking about is the what the rough endoplasmic what reticulum. Then we have the what ribosomes. What is the function of the ribosomes? The function of the ribosomes is what is a site of what protein what synthesis. Is a site for what protein what synthesis, or you can say is a what is a site for what protein what biosynthesis, right? So that is basically how it is. Then the next one we have there is what ribosomes contains what it's mainly because of what lysis, although it's not here. I just want to talk about it. Lysis. The ribosome or the lysosome, sorry, is known as what the suicide back of the what cell. So let's move ahead with our question and answer section. So that is basically what we are doing. Let's look at our question and answer section, right? Whew. Thank you so much. $5 means a lot. Although YouTube is going to take their share, but I still have something left. Thank you so much. All right. So the next question is, which of the following combination is common to plant and animal cells? Which of the following what combination is common to both what plant and what animal what cell? Which of this combination is common to both what plant and animal what cell? Which of this combination is common to both plant and animal cells? So let me write this combination. A. We have A. We have the centrioles. We have the centriole. We have the centriole. We have the middle lamella. We have the middle lamella. We have the middle lamella. We have the Golgi bodies. We have the Golgi bodies. We have the Golgi bodies, and we have the mitochondria. And we have the mitochondria. B. We have the cytoplasm. B. We have the what? B. We have the cytoplasm. We have the cytoplasm. We have the subvacuole. We have the subvacuole. We have the starch grains. We have the starch grains. We have the starch grains. And we have the leucoplast. We have the leucoplast. Right? We have the word leucoplast. C. We have the plasma membrane. C. We have the plasma membrane. C. We have the plasma membrane. What we are looking at is the one that is both common to what? Which of this combination? Like if I find it in plants, I'm going to find it in animal. You understand? So we have the plasma membrane. We have the plasma membrane. Where is it? That is C. We have the plasma membrane. We have the chromosomes. What's wrong with my board? Is it my board or the marker? We have the plasma membrane. We have the chromosomes. We have the chromosomes. We have the mitochondria. We have the mitochondria. And we have this mitochondria. And we have lysosomes. And we have lysosomes. D. This is plenty, we'll get it. We have D. We have the nucleus. D. We have the nucleus. Nucleus. We have the nucleus. We have the nucleus. Uh, we have the cell wall. We have the cell wall. We have the cell wall. We have the E arrow, that is endoplasmic reticulum, and E we have we have cytoplasm. We have cytoplasm. We have centriole. We have cytoplasm. We have the centriole. We have the cell wall. That's the cellular cell wall, and we have the word E arrow. Yes, that's the question on the board, right? The question is, which of the following is common to both plant what and what animal? Right? That is the question on the board. Which of the following is common to both what plant and what animals? So let's see what we are going to get. We have A. Centriole, medullaminar, Golgi bodies, mitochondria. B. We have what cytoplasm, subvacuum, starch, grains, leucoplast. C. We have what the plasma membrane, chromosomes, mitochondria, and lysosome. D. We have what nucleus, cell wall, and E, which is what endoplasmic reticulum, and E. We also have the what the same. Now the question is very simple. The question is, which of this combination can we find in plant cell, and we can also find it in what animal what cell, right? So which of these? So that is a what question that we are what getting. The correct answer there, although this is going to be something that I'm going to be making as a large video. I'm going to be making a video based on this stuff, so I can get to know it better. I'm going to be making a video on this stuff so I can get to know it better, right? The correct answer there is what C. The correct answer there is C, because first of all, you have to draw a table. You have to know the differences between what plant and what animal what cells. The organelles that are found in what plant cells that are not found in what animal what cells. Now, in plant cell, there is nothing like cell wall. In plant cell, you understand? In plant cell, there's nothing like what cell wall. For plant cell, there's nothing like what chloroplast. There's nothing like plant cell. In plant cell, there's a presence of what a cell wall. So all these things we have to what know it. In plant, there's a presence of what chloroplast, but in animal, there's no what chloroplast. In plants, there is no what centrioles, but in animals, centrioles is present because it's responsible for what division. So the correct answer there is what C, which is what the plasma membrane, which is present both in plant and animal cell. We have the chromosomes, which is present in both plant and animal cells, and we have the mitochondria, which is present in both plant and animal cells, and we also have the what lysosomes, which is present in both plant and what animal what cell, right? So let's move ahead. What we are going to do right now is that I'm going to touch two more questions, right? I'm going to be touching two more questions. Then the next big thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to shoot a video based on this particular continuation. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the red subscribe button, make sure you subscribe and also share these videos to your friend so that you will not miss out when I start dropping series of videos like this based on cell organization of life, or based on hereditary, based on evolution, topic by topic. You understand? So that you know what get what lost, or you will know what missed out. The next question is, a group of similar cells performing the same function, similar cells performing the same function is A. A gross mass performing the same function is A, organ. B, system. C, tissue, D, organelle, and E, which is something that is very, very abstract, enzyme. Now the question is, a similar cells coming together to perform the same function is A, organ, B, system, C, tissue, D, organelle, and E, enzyme. Now the first question is, what is what? A cell. What is what? A system. What is a tissue? What is organelles? And also what is what? Enzyme. When you get to know all of these, then you will know where your answer simply what lies. Right? So in the cell organization of life we are doing today, in the cell organization of life, remember in the cell organization of life, we have the cells, we have the tissues, we have the organs, and we have the word system. So a group of similar cells coming together to perform the same function is known as what? Tissues. Please take note. It is known as what? A tissue. So a group of similar cells coming together to perform the same function is known as what? Tissues. Then the last question here is the last question for this live stream section. So make sure you hit on the red subscribe button, because I'm going to be dropping complete 40 questions based on this particular topic in my video, one of my videos. The function of ribosomes in cells is, what is the function of what? Ribosomes. Remember I told you already the function of what? Ribosomes. The function of ribosomes, or ribosomes, is responsible for what? Protein what? Synthesis. We have what's the function of the ribosomes in cells? We have A, protein synthesis, B, starch synthesis, C, transport of materials, D, and lipid. D is what? Lipid what? Storage. I already told you that the function of the what? Ribosomes is for what? Protein what? Synthesis, or what? Protein what? Biosynthesis. So that is a wrap for this particular section, the cell organization of life live stream section like this. I'm going to be going off because I want to make the video to be so detailed so that I can really get to understand and follow up everything I will be talking about. And I don't want to make the live stream become boring and exhausting. When you see 1 hour, it's going to be something that is mentally exhausting, right? So make sure you subscribe. And also, if you need a one-on-one coaching ahead of your JAMB UTM, ahead of your WAEC, ahead of your NICO GC, drop it in the comment section. And also feel free to suggest a topic which you want me to treat on, be it in chemistry or be it in biology. And until I see you in my next video, always remember that you are wonderful, always remember that you are unique, and always remember that you're a presenter. I really love you. Thank you.